All right, this is the second video for Note 66. In the first video, we talked about defining a function as a one-to-one relationship. We tested ordered pairs to see if they were functions. If the x values repeat with different y values, it is not a function. We tested some equations here. The big takeaway is if you have a y squared in the equation, it is not going to be a function. And then we did the vertical line test for if you have graphs. So that's going to be your test there for whether you have a function or not. The last part here that we're going to do for this video is problem number 5, which is evaluating functions. So the first thing I did is I gave you a function f of x, and I told you that f of x is equal to 4x plus 3. And I want you to find f of negative 4. So the idea here is what I notice is x in the original notation has now been replaced with a negative 4. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take x in the function and replace it with what x has been replaced with. So let's see. F of negative 4 is going to equal 4 times negative 4 plus 3. So instead of writing x here after 4, I replaced it with what x is now equal to. Now, one thing to be clear about in terms of your function notation, this is a function call, meaning I am calling out to the f function. And the reason that's going to matter is at some point we might have multiple functions. So g of negative 4 would be different maybe than f of negative 4. Just be careful. And the other idea is that this is a function name. It's not a variable. You're not solving for f. I'm asking you to find f of negative 4, which is exactly what this is. So after all those words, basically you're just simplifying the right side, okay? So this is going to equal 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Negative 16 plus 3 is going to be negative 13. And that's exactly what f of negative 4 is equal to. And, whoops, I didn't mean to have that open. That's exactly what you're now done with, right? F of negative 4 is equal to negative 13. Ta-da. All right, so heading over to get to part B here. This time I'm looking at f of 5. So where I had x in the original function, I now have a 5. So let's find f of 5. So f of 5 equals 4 times x. Well, x is now 5, plus 3. Let's see, 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 3 means f of 5 is equal to 23. And there's nothing else I need to do with that problem. Right? We've solved for f of 5, which is what I asked you to do. Okay. So the next one, right, we're going to take a little bit of a step up because I'm giving you a number, but it also has a variable in it. Okay. So in the original problem, let me go steal this for a second. Oops, wrong thing. That's what I want. Oops, it said copy. I didn't think, there it goes. Copy that. And I'm just going to repaste it over here. So, whoa, that's very large. Not what I meant to have happen. Oops. I just want to move it. There it goes. Okay. Like, I know I can do this. The reason I'm doing this is I'm not flipping back and forth across the screen and scrolling away around too much. So here's the original f of x function. All right. But instead of x, now I want to replace 3x. Okay. So let's see what I got here. So f of 3 equals 4 times x, but x gets replaced, plus 3. So let's see what we got here. 4 times 3x is going to be 12x, and then plus 3, and that's where you're going to stop. Whoops, it's not just 3. Hold on a second. I realized I wrote something down wrong here. Those are both supposed to have x's there. There we go. Okay, so remember, that 3x replaces the original x, and then we're just simplifying this right side. 12x plus 3 is not, you can't combine those. They're not like terms. So yeah, f of 3x is equal to 12x plus 3. All right, final answer there for part C. And then let's see if we can figure out part D here. So for part D, right, instead of x, I have x minus 8. So where I have x, I'm going to replace with an x minus 8. Okay. All right, so f of x minus 8, write it down correctly this time, so it's going to be 4x, but x gets replaced with x minus 8, and then plus 3. So let's see, a little distributive property here. So it's going to be 4x minus 32. Whoops, I am having issues today writing down x's. Okay. There's the 4, there's the x. Okay, so 4x. I know I said it. Apparently, my brain said, no, you're not going to write it. 4 times negative 8 is negative 32 plus 3. All right, I'm getting all the right pieces in there. And then combining some like terms, negative 32, positive 3, that's going to get me a minus 29. So f of x minus 8 equals 4x minus 29. And that is the final answer for part D. Because again, we can't combine anything else. There are no more like terms there. I don't think there's a part E there. I think that was it. All right. So there's how you do evaluating, right? You have to be given the function. And then once you're given the function, figure out what you have to do in terms of replacing the x. If it's numeric, like part A and part B were, you're generally going to get a numeric answer at the end. If your variable is getting replaced with an expression, right, little 3x here or x minus 8, then you're probably going to end up with an expression in the answer. All right, as always, let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and I will see you in the next video.